Stop the truck. I'm suggesting all the romance books. No, not all of them are romance. Oh, Smoking Heart. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Janvi, and today's video is going to be a tad bit long, so I wouldn't mind if you grab your drinks and snacks to join me along. Let's get started. I really wanted to make this video for so long, and I know I've delayed. It's already half of the May has gone and I still haven't made this video, but I have some great recommendations. Some beautiful book recommendations that feel like summer, that feel like sunscreen and sand. Do you get me? Like salty ocean water, beach house. Yeah. Actually, that's what I like reading in summers. And to be very honest, for me, it's like cutesy romance for summers and fantasy for winters. That's the vibe I get, and that's how I read. Well, how I used to read, because I don't do that a lot these days. I read around 50 books last year and 73 before that. And this year it's halfway through the May and I have barely read 8 books. But I want to get back to reading, and therefore I have this beautiful collection of books that I've already read and I want to reread this summer. So I think these are the perfect picks. If you are looking for something which is very heartwarming, summer vibes, and really fun to read, you are at the right place. Let's get started. I cannot start recommending books about summer without mentioning The Summer I Turned Pretty. Well, I think the 3rd season of the series is out, and for all those who have watched the series and haven't read it, I think, yeah, it's a beautiful pick if you want to read this summer. The first book is The Summer I Turned Pretty, then it's Not Summer Without You, and it's We'll Always Have the Summer by Jenny Han. And I think I would have enjoyed this a lot if I was a teenager, like 16, 17. I would have loved these books a lot more. It doesn't mean that you cannot read it. It's beautiful, it's very heartwarming. You have the beach house, it's very pretty and everything. And if you want to get into such kind of books, you should start with this. It's very cutesy, very heartwarming, very refreshing like summer, and you would love this. So the first recommendation is this 3-book series by Jenny Han, The Summer I Turned Pretty, and I'm pretty sure you're going to like this. The next book that I want to mention is, okay, so there are 3 books by Emily Henry. I love Emily Henry. I wasn't introduced to her for a long time when I was reading. I wasn't reading her books. I was reading a lot of things, but not her books. And when I started reading it, I read it last year and I was so in love with her writing and all that summer vibe, the cozy feeling of those books. And I absolutely adore them. And it's like the best books that you can read in summer. So all 3 of them, so the 3 of them that I'm going to mention are Happy Places, The Beach Reads, and Book Lovers. Chef's Kiss. Actually, I just finished rereading this book, Beach Reads, yesterday, and I was so in love all over again. I fell in love with her writing, and now I want to start reading The Book Lovers again. So to give you a little backstory, I'll start with the Beach Reads because it's very fresh in my mind. So Beach Reads is about these 2 writers who write 2 different genres, like totally different. One writes romance, whereas the other writes fiction. These 2 writers, they are facing this writer's block. Both of them are kind of enemies. Yeah. So they were in the same college. To give you a little backstory, they were from the same college and both are very successful writers, but both of them write in different genres. So the FMC writes about romance and happy endings, whereas the MMC writes about fiction and all those things. So they're in this writer's block. They go to this beach house separately, not knowing the other is there, and eventually they end up being neighbors. So they find a way of getting out of the block, and they like challenge each other to write their genres. So the FMC is like, you have to write a good happy ending because you never do that, and the MMC is like that, no, you should write a fiction, a totally different thing, a literary fiction that you don't write. You always write about happy endings. That doesn't happen. So they switch genres, and it's the beautiful bond they form, like they're enemies and they're fighting and quarreling, and then there's the things that they are bonding on. They're understanding each other's how much work it goes in each other's genre. It's not like a genre is easy to write or the other one is hard. It's not like that. Both are equally hard to write and understand what's going behind the scenes. So you get into the writer's mind and you see those things, and that's very beautiful to read. And eventually, of course, it's a love story, so it ends there. But the story is very pretty. It's like beach houses and oceans and lakes and rivers. Chef's Kiss is a good 4.5 stars. Next one. It's again by Emily Henry. It's Book Lovers. So I've already mentioned how much I love her. Now this one is again regarding books only. So we have our main character is Nora and Charlie. Nora is a book publishing agent and Charlie is the editor. Alright, both of them are not quite fan of each other. They kind of despise each other in the starting of the book. One thing leads to the other and somehow they are in the same town. Okay, so Nora is very uptight. She's like, everything should be according to the checklist. Everything has to go on a plan. She's not like that. She flows with the flow. It's like she wants everything to be on place. She had a very hard upbringing. Her mother and sister. Her mother was a single mother and her sister is now pregnant with the third child. And Nora has always been this like mommy bear. She's like, I'll protect you all, and she doesn't show her emotions and like how she feels. She's not very emotional person. She's very practical and she works things practically. Charlie, on the other hand, is from this very small town, which is about, the whole book is about that only. So they start with a meeting which is about a book, and the book has mentioned this small town, and Nora is like, oh, why aren't you agreeing to it? It's like I don't know if the town exists in real life or not, but I should have checked it. I'll tell you. It's Sunshine Falls, and Sunshine Falls, and Nora is like, if it's a real town and everything, and Charlie is like, if it's a real, of course it's a real town, but the writer has not been there because small towns are not like that. And she's like, no, how can you say that and all that? And the meeting goes very blandly. It's not a very good meeting because both of them are dealing with something. Okay, it turns out that Nora's sister has booked them a vacation in Sunshine Falls, and Charlie lives in Sunshine Falls. It's his hometown. And then that's how the story starts and how things start getting. They meet each other there and they're like working together on this another book, and they have professional boundaries and all those things. I think you should give it a try. The next one is Happy Places, again by Emily Henry, and this one is about this couple who has secretly broken up, but they have to now go on a pre-planned trip with their friends, which they has a traditional kind of thing that they always go to this trip in the summers. And I've forgotten about this book and I have to read it because I cannot remember what I want to tell you all. But yeah, this is around these lines, and I remember reading the book and feeling happy about the book. So it's mostly when you read the book and you finish it and you go on to the next book and you forget how the first book was, but you remember how it made you feel. So it made me feel very happy inside. So I think you should read it. The next book is one of my favorite, I would say. I loved it when I read it. It's The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I love it. I genuinely do love it. Okay, so there's this wedding, and Olive is the unlucky twin. So her sister is getting married, and Ethan is the best man. Okay, he's the groom's friend or brother, something around the I forgot. Okay, so he's the groom's best friend. Now the thing is that the whole wedding, okay, the venue, everything, they are at the wedding, and everyone present at the wedding gets food poisoning except these two. And then there is this honeymoon, all expense paid honeymoon in Hawaii, and they are forced to go on that because everything is paid. Someone has to go. All right, and these are the only two people who are not suffering from food poisoning. This one is filled with banter. Like, imagine this tropical vacation in Hawaii, margaritas, and banter. Like, it is like that. It's a very feel-good book. I was going to say movie. Oh, a very feel-good book. It's perfect for summers. It's like very Ethan and Olive have to pretend like being a very happy in love couple to get all those advantages of the trip. So it's filled with enemies to lover trope. It's obviously enemies to lover trope. One bed and this awkward tension between them. They hate each other and then they're together. And then the banter is really good in this one. Like they have this very filled fights and quarrels, and banter is top notch because they hate each other, and that's when the banter kicks in. And I always love a good banter. Then there's so much in this book. There's so much to enjoy and to love. And if you're going to pick this up, you're going to have a good laugh. You're going to enjoy this really, and I think you should read this one. I remember how it made me feel, so I'm telling you, it's very good. So I'm telling you, it's a very beautiful book to read. On to the next one. The next book is, wait a minute. Okay, anyone who knows me from my Instagram knows how much I love this book. It's Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. The movie came and my jaw dropped because the actors in the movie are the perfect who could have played these two characters. Like the LGBTQ queer book, it's between these two officials, like higher authorities, Alex and Henry. Alex Claiborne Diaz, he's the son of the US president, and Henry is the royal prince of UK. So US and UK, they have this cross-country romance, and since they are at such like authoritative and influential positions, it's very hard for them to come out and experience this. The book starts like they hate each other. It starts with that, but it's not. Oh, you can see how many tags I have put in this one, and I read this like 3-4 years ago. So you can see I was not good at annotations, but I have done something here. But I love this book. I genuinely do. If I had to include this, if you're looking for something that will make your heart ache and I cannot explain this. If you are looking for something that will make your heart ache and will give you a warm hug at the same time, it's that book. I love it. I genuinely love it. If you're looking to pick a romance, a queer book this year, in this summer season, pick this one up if you haven't read it yet. And after that, go watch the movie. You will literally see the characters coming to life. Okay, that's it. Okay, so the next 3 books are by the author Taylor Jenkins Reid. I read this book, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I fell in love with her. And when I say this, I genuinely mean it. Alright, I read this book and I was like, wow, it's beautiful. It's writing and it speaks how beautifully she has written it. And I wanted to read so much more from her. I'll go through the 3 books that I have in suggestion for you all, and each of them are chef kiss. Okay, the first one, as I mentioned, is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I read this book and I went on Google to search if Evelyn Hugo is a true person. Because the writing of this book is so beautiful. It is about, of course, Evelyn Hugo, who is a very famous film star and a very famous actress in the 1950s or something, yeah. And she finally agrees to tell her life story. And she doesn't choose a famous celebrity journalist. She chooses Monique, who is not a well-known journalist, and she chooses her to tell her story. So as she starts telling her story, the story unfolds about her 7 husbands. It's a story of pain, sacrifice, identity crisis, and all those things. And it's so beautifully written. After reading this book, I really wanted to buy an emerald green dress. Why I say the story is perfect for summer. I can imagine you sitting in a beach house or somewhere, having a red wine in your hand and just reading this book. on a beach, okay, with sunset in the back. It's that kind of a. It's again, you have. It's more than a love story. It's about Evelyn. Okay, it's not a love story. I cannot say that because I want you to read, so I cannot say that. But it's about who Evelyn really is. And if I had to, okay, so my take on this, if I had to have to tell you how Evelyn was, you can just imagine Rekha ji and Marilyn together. Okay, I don't know how else to explain this. It's so beautifully written, and yeah, as I told you, why it's perfect for summer. It's very cinematic. It's like old Hollywood kind of vibe is going on, and of course, Evelyn is just wonderful. When I read this, I was like, I need to read every book by Taylor. And you can see how much I've annotated this book. I have annotated the hell out of this one. Everything. It says for Laila, smash the patriarchy, sweetheart. It's very beautiful. It's amazing. If anyone knows me, they know it's one of my favorite books. And I love it. Love it. So you have to read it. Because I love it. And I'm telling you to read it. So the next one is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid again. And there's something that I love about her writing is that every book that I read, I just want to go and search on Google whether these characters really existed. Because she makes them feel real, and that's why I love her. That's something that I love about her. Now Daisy Jones and the Six is a story about this rock band that is set in 1970s. It is about their meteoric rise and spectacular fall, how this band was. It was shining from the outside but has addiction, tragic love story that wasn't allowed to bloom, all those things. And to be very honest, I read this book and then I heard it on audiobook, and I was like, I was so much in awe, because when you read these books on audiobooks and you get to hear the different characters speak, you get to know all of them. So it's about a band, about Billy, who was the lead singer, how the band was on the outside. On the outside, it was so smoking hot, and in the inside, how things were tragic. All right, and the story is beautiful. Why, you may ask, is best for summers is because it's very electric, it's very dusky, and it has this vibe going on, which is like your favorite love song that you never want to end, but it eventually ends, if you are getting what I'm trying to say. Yeah, but this one is again a must read. You would absolutely love this one. Next one is Malibu Rising by again Taylor Jenkins Reid, and this one is, again, I went on Google to search if they are real. Their father was this, they aren't real, by the way, okay? So their father, Mike Riva, was a celebrity, okay? And their story is about glamour, abandonment, failure, and finding their way together. It's all together, put together so beautifully that when you read it, you feel everything. Okay, it's about these four siblings and how they are going on their annual summer vacation for their summer party. It's like a tradition, and how everything changes. The story is set in dual timeline. So again, if you're reading it on audiobooks, you would love it, because you are going to hear different voices and everyone with their different personalities. You get a better idea of the characters. It's beautiful. But the story is very heartwarming, and if you may ask why you should read it in summer times, to be very honest, this feels like the perfect book. Okay, it smells like, I don't know why, but it smells like salt water, and you can see it unfold from the sands. Okay, like you are standing in the sand in front of an ocean and you can see it unfold. It's filled with surfing and parties and sunsets and sunrises, everything like so. So you should read it. You will love it. What if I told you I could fall in love with you in one day? The next book is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. this is exactly the line it just said is the book. Okay, it's the story that takes place in just 24 hours. It's fast paced, it's set in a city. So our characters are Natasha and Daniel. Natasha is someone who believes in science and facts, and Daniel is someone who believes in poetry and fate. But universe has different plans. The universe puts them together, and this whole story unfolds in 24 hours. It's a story about immigration, identity, dreams, and so much more. Why I am suggesting this one is because every other book is very like slow paced, small town or such things, but a beach house and all those things. This one is set in city. This one is a fast paced book, but it still feels like summer. Okay, it still feels like if you are someone who lives in a very chaotic environment, who survives in the chaotic environment, you are going to really enjoy this. And I don't know why, but somehow I always loved this book. I have this very special place in my heart for this book. I just love it. So, if you're looking for some fast-paced book, this one right here, you should read it. Okay, so this is the last suggestions or recommendations from this whole video. It's a series by Lucy Score, the Knock 'Em Out series by Lucy Score. I love it. I read it last summer and I fell in love with this whole trope of Grumpy and Sunshine, small town romances. I wasn't a huge fan of small town romances before I read this one, so yeah, this one is the one that introduced me to the small town romance series, and I fell in love, and now I cannot come back. So it has 3 books: Things We Never Got Over, Things We Hide from Light, and the third one is Things We Left Behind. Yeah, sorry. So it's a series which is set in the small town of Knock 'Em Out, Virginia, and the first book, that is Things We Never Got Over, has Knox, Morgan, and Naomi. So Naomi runs from her wedding. She comes to the small town to find out that her twin sister has abandoned her daughter. So she somehow becomes a guardian, and she's full of chaos. Naomi is full of chaos. And we have Knox, who is the local bar owner. He's very put together, and he always runs from chaos only to meet the biggest one of them all. And their story is about this found family and all those sweet things that you always want to read in a small town romance. It's packed together in this one. Okay, so that's the story. I am pretty sure you'll love it. The next book follows. Okay, Knox's brother, Nash Morgan. He's the former golden boy of this town and the police chief, and he falls for this secretive woman, Lena, who enters the town. She has some secrets that are yet to be unfolded, and the story is very pretty, very beautiful. It's somewhat enemish to lovers, not completely, but somewhat. And again, found family. It has some hidden secrets and all those things, but it's with the spice of the first book, and it keeps up the legacy of the first book, which is very heartwarming. So when you read this one, you have the idea of the first book and you want to read the third book, and it's very cozy. The third book is Things We Left Behind. It's the story of Lucien and Sloane. Lucien isn't the brother of these two, the former characters, but he's best friends with them. And since childhood, they are more like brothers than friends. And of Sloane is a single mother. They have some sort of history in the past, but Lucien hates everyone but has a soft corner for Sloane, and this one is full of passion, steam, and it still has that cozy feel to it. And I think it's one of the best reads you can pick this summer to read. The whole series is very beautiful. I mean to say that if summer was a series, Knock 'Em Out will be it, because okay, it is warm, chaotic, full of heart, and just a little bit of spice. It has swoon-worthy characters you want to be friends with. It has that small town charm that will just keep you together in that place, and you will want to read more. It has chaos and banter that is really needed in any small town romance, and it's quite chunky. It will last you for some couple of beach days. I'm being very honest. Like, I have mentioned the books and some of the very easy light reads, but Nokiman series is heavy. It's on the heavier end. It's a quite chunky series. If you are not feeling it, you might not enjoy it as much. But if you have a couple of days on your vacation to read a book, I think you should pick this one up. It will last you a few days and you will absolutely adore this book. And yeah, I think that will be it for today's video, and if you want to see more of it or anything more, just do let me know what else you want to see and what more videos you are expecting from me, and I would try to cater to your demands. Alright, so all my readers, I hope you all have a beautiful summer, happy weekend, and yeah, have a good day. Bye bye, see you next time.